Colbyjack.net is proud to present From the Flames by Trisha M. Wilson. The people of the fire, the Blesa, led by their queens, have ruled the island of Alfeyju and oppressed the Driva, the people of the ice, for more than 16 generations. With the Drivian King in hiding and little hope on the horizon, the Driva looked to one person to save them from the vile Blesa, the Diviana. According to legend, the divinely gifted Diviana will one day overthrow the Blesa and restore the Drivian King to his rightful throne. But with the search having lasted for more than 400 years, will the Diviana ever come to light? Willow is the slave of the Raskpil family. Bought at the age of 4, 20 years have passed since her life irrevocably changed. Her existence is no worse than any other slave, but within, Willow wonders if there isn't something more she should be doing with her life other than serving the ungrateful. Ordered to travel with her master's family to Sondertoft, so her master's adult children can take part in an ancient rite of passage, Willow is shocked when she learns that she too must participate. Will she fail, as all before her have? Will she rise to the challenge and become stronger after passing through the flames? Episode 44. Adelina growled at him and took a threatening step toward the two. Stepping forward with her focus on the snow leopard, Willow said with a growl of her own, "Adelina, stop. I'm busy right now. Be with you in a second." "Stop right this second. They're my friends, remember?" "Don't care right now. I think the boy needs to learn a little respect. A bite out of him should do it." Moving closer, Willow ordered, "You will do no such thing. You will stand down now." "Then make him beg for my forgiveness," Adelina growled, baring her teeth at Sigurd. "Why are you talking to that animal? Use your powers and kill it," Sigurd ordered. "Either apologize to her for being rude and insensitive to the fact she saved your life, or be quiet while I try to keep her from hurting you," Willow snapped. "But make up your mind fast, because I don't know how long she'll wait before she takes a bite out of you." "Apologize to that? I'd choose my next words very carefully if I was you, boy," Adelina threatened as she took yet another step toward him. Before everyone's eyes, her previously white fur turned a fiery red color, reminding Willow of Val when he was in his transformed state. The same fire he emitted seemed to be flickering from Adelina's fur. "Yes, apologize," Willow said, turning her full attention to Adelina and trying to ignore the transformation occurring before her eyes. Willow moved next to the cat. "I need him in one piece. He's as important to my mission as you are." Hawk nudged a stiff and fearful Sigurd, giving him a significant look when Sigurd didn't say anything. Obviously not getting the message, Hawk stepped forward, put his sword in its scarab, and went to one knee in front of the snarling, glowing leopard. Looking her in the eye, he said, "I would like to apologize on behalf of my dim-witted friend. We truly appreciate everything you have done to help keep us alive. Sigurd didn't mean to insult you. If you'd give him a second chance, I'm sure in time he'll make full amends for this horrendous offense he's perpetrated against you." Adelina looked at Hawk for a full minute after he finished speaking. With every second that passed, the flames dimmed, and she went back to her white, furry form. Breaking eye contact with Hawk, she looked at Sigurd, who had a mixture of expressions on his face. "Tell the man I accept his apology on behalf of the boy, and that I look forward to daily massages from boy as a start to his very lengthy apology." "Adelina accepts your apology, Hawk, and would like you to know, Sigurd, that she expects—" "Demands," Adelina growled. "Demands," Willow said, correcting herself. Daily massages from you for the near future. Massages? You expect me to massage? Shut up, Sigurd, Hawk hissed. Don't you think you've done enough to make this gorgeous creature angry? Unless you want to apologize yourself for your idiotic words, be quiet. Sigurd crossed his arms after belatedly putting his sword away. He looked hurt that Hawk and Willow were ganging up on him. But Willow was more drawn to Hawk, who was now stroking Adelina's head, murmuring something she couldn't hear. Receiving a face lick from Adelina, Hawk got to his feet and looked at Willow. Where have you been? We've been worried sick. Yes, Sigurd piped in, staying well away from the leopard. Where were you? We woke up, and you were nowhere to be found. I had trouble sleeping, so I took a little walk in the forest, and happened to run into Adelina. Oh, let me introduce you all. Hawk, Sigurd, this is Adelina. Adelina, this is Hawk, and that is Sigurd, she said, pointing to each of them so Adelina would know the name of the one who owed her massages. Pleasure to meet you, Hawk said. What he said, Sigurd grunted, still upset. Is Adelina who we were looking for? Hawk asked, looking back at Willow. Yes, she told me she isn't hiding any objects, nor has she ever, so she must be the first sacred object. Not exactly what I picture when I hear sacred object, but if that is what she is, then welcome to the cause, Sigurd said, finally deciding to put the past behind him. What happened here? Adelina sensed these men coming toward you, but I thought I asked you not to kill them, Willow said, directing the lass toward the leopard, who'd decided to start cleaning herself up. That was your preference, Adelina acknowledged, but I also told you I guarantee nothing. Shifting her attention to the men, she asked her question again. What happened? We were discussing what to do since you were nowhere to be found, when these men suddenly came along the path. There had to be what? Sigurd asked, looking to Hawk. 10 of them? More like 12. Anyway, at first we thought they were travelers. We were going to let them go past us, but then their leader started asking us where the woman was. Picking up the story, Hawk said, I told them we weren't traveling with any women, but he insisted we were lying. That's when he and his men drew their swords, threatening to stab, beat, and maim us if we didn't tell him where you were. Hawk and I had just drawn our own swords when the leopard, Adelina, came out of the forest. Her arrival shook up some of them, but it also signaled the beginning of the fight. I don't know how she did it, but she took on 5 of them at the same time and defeated them all. Practice, Adelina said smugly. When she turned her attention to the men we were fighting with, when they saw her coming at them, they turned tail and ran for it. I've never seen grown men run that fast before. But then they were running for their life, Hawk said. Did you injure them, or will they be coming back for us? Not waiting for an answer to her questions, she tried to sense them, but since they were concealed, she couldn't. Adelina, can you still sense them? Yes, she said in an outboard voice. They're not too far away. They're trying to figure out if they should come back and force your location out of these 2, or wait for backup. Backup? Willow repeated. Is the backup in the forest? They're a few hours away. If you don't want more dead bodies lining this path, we should leave. I told you it might be a mistake not letting her kill them, Val said. The men that ran are waiting for backup, Willow relayed to Sigurd and Hawk. We need to leave. We have what we came for, so if we can make it back to the ship, we'll be able to make a clean getaway, Sigurd said, gathering his things. Yes, but how are we supposed to bring a giant snow leopard, who also can change colors, into that village and not attract attention? People have been hunting her for years, and in one day we tame her? Hawk asked. That's not going to look good. I'm nobody's pet, Adelina growled. He didn't mean to insinuate that you were, Willow said smoothly. He meant that would be how it would look to the villagers. How else will we be able to explain a wild animal suddenly walking next to us, not trying to kill us? Adelina yawned in reply. To answer your points, we can't bring her into the village. We'll have to meet the ship somewhere along the coast. Do we know of any place where it would be easy to meet up with the ship? Pulling the map out of his pocket, Hawk studied it. There's no other towns this far north, so we can't go to another town. That also means there aren't any harbors or ports. Adelina, is there anywhere along the coast where we'd be able to meet the ship? No, she responded. All the coastland along the town is high bluffs. There are a few inlets to the sea, but they aren't big enough for a ship of any size. No, Willow told the men. All there is are high bluffs. But even if there'd been a place to meet up with the ship, how would we have let them know where we were? It's not like we told them if we don't come back within a specific amount of time to go north and look for a place where we might be. One of us would have had to go into town to let them know, and I really don't like the idea of splitting up. So what do you suggest? Sigurd asked. We still have the problem of the large leopard to deal with. Adelina growled at his words. Willow said, We'll figure it out when the time comes. Right now, we need to get away from those guys before they come back. Adelina, can you take us back to town while avoiding the path? Of course I can. Might be a little difficult with the rocky and hilly terrain and all, but I can get you there. You plan on doing anything to stop those interlopers from following us? Yes. Turning her attention back to the men, she said, Adelina will lead us to town. We'll go cross-country, so it'll take us longer. We'll avoid those men. Adelina got to her feet, stretched, and then headed into the forest. Hawk and Sigurd glanced at each other before following her. Willow stayed where she was on the path, watching them go. Noticing that she wasn't following, Hawk stopped and said, You coming? I'll be there in a minute. Go on. Shrugging his shoulders, he turned around and continued into the forest. Willow waited until they were almost out of sight before turning her attention back to the path and the men who were traveling on it. What's the plan? Val asked, sounding excited. What makes you think I have a plan? You always have a plan, Val responded. What are we doing? Sending daggers and spears at them, or something more inventive? Willow smiled at his enthusiasm. Something more inventive. Reading the Book of Ivy, it mentioned my powers with ice could be expanded to do whatever I could imagine. A passage came back to me after I made that ice key. So what are we making? A snowstorm, Willow said. A snowstorm? But don't we get caught in it since you'd be sending it south and we're heading south? That's the beauty of my idea, Willow responded. My imagination tells me the snowstorm should only exist around those men and only until we're on the ship sailing away. Willow could hear Val grin. I love the way your mind works. Let's do it. Closing her eyes, Willow pictured the snowstorm she wanted to create. Whiteout conditions, high winds, freezing snow. Electricity flowed through her body and Val, and then she heard it, a swooshing sound. Opening her eyes, nothing seemed different. But then she'd sent it down the path toward the men. So if everything went right, she wouldn't be seeing it. She turned and jogged into the forest in the direction the others had gone. Her muscles ached with her every movement. She was a few yards off the path when she heard loud yelling and swearing. The others stopped at the sounds, allowing Willow to catch up to them. What was that? Sigurd asked, looking toward the noise. Those men received a little surprise. One that'll keep them busy until we get to safety, she responded. What did you do? Hawk asked. I sent a snowstorm to keep them company. Hawk and Sigurd opened their mouths in amazement at her words. But before they could say anything, Willow said, We should catch up to Adelina before she leaves us behind. They were obviously curious, but Willow's closed expression stopped them from asking more questions. Reluctantly, they turned around to follow the snow leopard, who continued to walk toward her destination. You have been listening to From the Flames by Trisha M. Wilson. Read, recorded, mastered, encoded, and produced by Colbyjack.net. This work is released under a Creative Commons 3.0 Attribution, Non-Commercial, Share-alike license. Do what you want with it, just don't try to profit from it. Heaven knows we can't. If you have any questions, comments, or rants you wish to share with us, we can be reached at Colbyjack.net. That's COLBYTRAX @COLBYJACK.net. Yep, I sing it too. If you want to follow the exploits of Trisha in Twitterland, just search for Lady Trisha W on Twitter, or follow the ever-dashing, courageous, hardworking, intelligent, and immensely humble Colbyjack on the Twitters as well. If you find that you can't, just wait to find out what will happen with Willow, the strong dude and the annoying dude. Be heartened to know that From the Flames is available from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Smashwords, as well as from our little shop. Didn't you know about our little shop? Why, yes, we have a little shop located at shop. That's shop.colbyjack.net. That's shop.colbyjack.net. Yeah, real original there. There you will find the latest ebook versions of all our works in both Mobi and ebook, all DRM-free, as well as audiobook versions of such works as Firmware Hijacked and Proxy, as well, naturally, as well as From the Flames. The audiobooks differ from the podcasts in that the headers and bumpers only run once, and the episodes are grouped into hour-long episodes for easy burning to CD or for downloading on the go. If you find you don't need any stuff, but just want to thank us monetarily for our efforts here, just head on over to Colbyjack.net, select either audio or visual, and look for the donate button located on the blog roll. Well, anyway, thank you for listening, have a wonderful week, and remember to be fabulous.